What is going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. I have some news that I need to break for all of you. For those that haven't heard, if you haven't seen the breaking news title on the heading here, Jack Curry's just reported that the Yankees, Nestor Cortes, likely scratched from today. He has to get an MRI on his left pitching elbow. This is a big blow for the Yankees. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, I expect another move, and this is right from Jack Curry. Concerning news for the Yankees is Nestor Cortes, tonight's scheduled starter, is getting an MRI on his left elbow. Cortes has been dynamic lately, one earned run in 15 innings, and loomed as a valuable weapon in the postseason as a reliever or a starter. So expect another move, and thank you, Jonathan, for the Prime Minister of being a Prime Minister valuable. And tonight I got my man NFE joining me here, and wanted to break this with you. And thank you to Jonathan as well for getting this information out. Jack Curry reported, again, Nestor Cortes having an MRI on his elbow. So that could be a devastating blow for the Yankees. Right. So what do you think about? What do you think, Anthony?
It's definitely news that we didn't want to hear. It's the last thing we wanted to hear, considering the fact that Nestor Cortes is supposed to start tonight, and I was really looking forward to tonight's game because I felt like, okay, with Nestor starting tonight, the Yankees can bounce back and get and clinch the division.
Being better at home, also.
Say that again.
Pitching better at home, also, yeah.
Yeah, he does pitch better at home. Although, to Nestor's credit, he's been pitching better away too. Yes. in his starts. So, listen, am I going to be overly stressed? Am I saying it's over? No, I'm not. I'm definitely not saying that it's over. It's definitely a concern. An MRI on the elbow. Hopefully, the news comes back, with some sort of positive, right? Hopefully it's nothing serious, but when it's the elbow, it's always a concern.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you don't mess with. Look, I don't anticipate Nestor pitching tonight. I do. I don't know. I mean, I think right now it makes the most sense to start Stroman, but we'll see what the Yankees do. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point, but I'm not going to stress it. I think the Yankees, even without Nestor, they can still play well. And, let's face it, he wasn't going to be one of the starters in the division series. So even in the wild card, he wasn't going to be considered a starter. I mean, the Yankees, I think, have their starters set. It's Cole, Rodon, Hill.
Yep.
So Nestor was never going to be a starter. He was probably going to be a guy that comes out of the bullpen, but it's still a key guy that's missing. What do they do? I mean, if he does go on the IL, who do they bring up? That's the question. Because I don't think as much as I would love to see Will Warren, I don't think he's ready.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it with him. But who's that guy that they bring up? I mean, who gets the shot? Who gets the opportunity? Do they bring up Cody Poteet? Maybe he's the guy that gets brought up. I mean, I know I talked a bunch, but I'm not trying to take over here. But I'm just throwing out different ideas out there. But what do you think, man?
You make an important point too. Like, if Nestor was going to be in the bullpen, then he was going to serve a multi innings or a limited capacity multi innings role, right? So Cody Poteet serves that purpose. And thankfully, right now, we had 6 starters instead of 5, right? That's why, I mean, you mentioned Marcus Stroman. It's a good point too. Marcus Stroman can slide right in there, okay? And I could see him being a gamer and then propelling his team to winning this game tonight. So, and that would be a huge, a huge break for us. It'd be a huge blessing to us too. So I'm hoping that that's the case. Morning, Ray. What's happening, Ray?
What's up, man?
Just wanted to let you know, for everybody else in the chat, Nestor Cortes is having an MRI on his elbow today. So he's most likely not pitching tonight, obviously. That's Jack Curry reporting. So that's what we know right now. Sounding some Nathaniel, you've had it. Is it you? You've had it with what? Did you mess up his elbow, Nathaniel? This is but this is why we credit Cashman for doing these dumpster dive moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when guys like Nestor Cortes go down, anybody think Cody Poteet was going to be valuable? No. Right? Anybody think Luke Weaver was going to be valuable? No. But they are. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just going to say I was I was actually confident about the Luke Weaver, and it was a risk on my part, but I was actually confident about Weaver. I was like, this guy Weaver could be something. So I just wanted to just throw that out there.
No, I remember, I'll never forget it. I was at a car dealership getting my car serviced. That's where I put out the freaking video on Luke Weaver. I was excited about it too.
Yeah.
And he's transitioned very smoothly to the closer role right now. And again, I said this yesterday. It's reminiscent of when Mariano Rivera used to set up John Wetland, who used to stress us out every day. It was like Luke Weaver setting up for Clay Holmes, who stressed us out every day. It's like John Wetland syndrome all over again. So, and obviously he's taken over under different circumstances, but he came in, he took that role, and he's getting a great job. Doing a great job. Shout out to Wink. This came out of nowhere. We did not anything about. No, we didn't. I didn't notice anything. Did you notice anything?
What, his elbow? He looked fine. I mean, he looked fine. Maybe after that start, maybe he woke up the next day, the elbow was feeling a little funky.
Information.
And maybe it was just, it was just, that soreness from, pitching game time, which happens, when you play a game, you experience some soreness. I mean, that happens in all aspects of sports. Doesn't matter what sport it is. Maybe, and after maybe 3 or 4 days, okay, the elbow is not recovering the way it's supposed to. You know how you get these you get a soreness and you think, okay, give it a day or two, it'll go away. Let me just rest it and do what I need to do, stretch it out, like, do the exercises. But maybe after those 3 or 4 days, because he is on 5 days rest, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So maybe after waking up today, maybe the elbow was still feeling a little off, and he was just like, okay, this isn't normal. It's kind of like that Garrett Cole situation.
Yep, exactly.
So he's just like, all right, well, I need to do something about this. So he probably was talking with the coaches and the trainers about it. So no, I think he did the right thing. I mean, they're not, I don't think he's going to pitch tonight. So
me neither.
Yeah.
Dev. So I understand you're frustrated, Nathaniel. I totally get it, right?
Yeah.
You're frustrated too. But, keep it in mind too, when it comes to Baltimore, when did the Yankees start really playing well? When they started to get healthy, right? Reinforcements. Baltimore's undergoing that same thing right now. They're getting healthy.
Yeah.
They're going to start playing well too. They clinched last night. They're in the postseason too. So it is what it is. I mean, personally, I'm confident we'll clinch at home, at least the division. So do I see him needing Tommy John? I don't know yet, Wink. I'm not going to think that far ahead. I'm not going to think that far ahead. It is whatever it is. It's still a big blow for the Yankees this year, but they have enough, in my opinion, enough depth to overcome it. So we'll see, what happens here. So it's right in front. Yes, it is, John. In front of it is in front of our eyes. And look, dude.
Well, I think that's a mock towards Boone.
Yeah, it could be a mock towards Boone.
Yeah.
I like to, I mocked the people who said the Yankees were going to be a fourth place team this year. So many of them on this channel said that.
Well, it's funny too, because people say, there's people out there that are blaming Boone for last night's loss, and it's like, oh, he doesn't know how to, he doesn't know how to manage these games, and it's going to be scary. I'm like, but somehow they're in first place. They're 5 games ahead of the Orioles. They just clinched the playoff berth. Boone got 601 wins in his managerial career, right? Is his playoff resume the greatest? No, it's not the greatest, but he still gets him there some way, somehow, even with the players that he's given. He never had like a core of players that were well veteran, well experienced. The guy came in with a fresh team, basically. I mean, to me, it was a fresh team, when he first started managing this Yankees team. So, you got to give Boone some credit. I mean, and then, I know people want to blame, people are blaming, Cashman, of course, Boone, Cashman. It's always, it's like, they're clueless.
Yeah, it's the same old take almost every day. It's just ridiculous. So, and all credit to Jonathan who got this information to us.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, we'll keep you updated on what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been rebuilding, John. See, this is the narrative of 15 years. The game has changed, John. I'll just put it that way, and it's much harder for teams like the Yankees to be continually. Have you seen any other team repeat?
Not in a while. No, not even the Astros
Nobody.
have done any repeats.
Nobody. The last team to repeat was the Yankees.
It's not a knock on the Astros or anything, right? But I just want to say this. Yeah, they had their glory moments. They had a lot of success in the postseason. They've got a couple of World Series in these last few years. I mean, yeah, they've done well, sure, but respectfully, I wouldn't call the Astros a dynasty. They're not a dynasty, but they've had some good years. So yeah, no team has really had repeats. So who was the last team that had a repeat? I mean,
the Yankees.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
99, 2000.
I know, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, and then they almost won 2001. It could have been a four-peat, but they lost in the bottom of the ninth inning in Game 7 against the Diamondbacks. Yeah. So that's as close as you can get. So, and again, we were spoiled by that team. And again, it's really hard to. And keep in mind too. I've said this a lot. All these other teams that have sucked for a long time have had top 5 draft picks for like a year in a row, or like a decade in a row. And that's how a lot of these teams become really good, right? You have these top players. You're not going to really find a lot of Paul Skeens in the 3rd or 4th round or in the 25th pick. Mm-hmm. You're not. That's why. When's the last time the Yankees drafted a single digit? Was it Jeter?
It's been a long time. I mean, this is what I'm saying. When some of these teams, when some of these teams improve their rosters because they've had bad records, so they get first bids on these players in the draft. So it's like when the Yankee, unfortunately, when you have a good team, when you have winning records, right, year after year, the con to that is that you're not going to draft high. You're going to draft low, and you're not going to get the best of the best. These teams like Baltimore, when they were having 100 loss years, they were getting the best of the best. They were getting first dibs on a lot of these drafts, and they were able to draft well.
And look what they got now: the Rushman, they got Gunnar Henderson, they got Jackson Holiday.
Yeah,
they got a whole bunch of them because they stuck for so long.
And watch the White Sox. Wink the man brings it up. I mean, the White Sox, they're going to get first dibs this season, no doubt. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be any. I don't think they're going to be any good this season or next season if I had to predict. But they're probably going to have their years of we're going to suck, but we're going to also do what we can to draft well. So, and they could be on and they could be rebuilding for all we know. And they could have an awesome farm, just like Baltimore. So, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. And John, we're not saying that Torrey had it easy.
No, we're definitely not saying that Torrey had it easy, but the pressure was on Torrey to make things happen. And whenever you're a Yankees manager, the pressure's on. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, so. Yeah, he had a much deeper, much more experienced roster too. The roster was different. The game was completely different. So, but he dealt with the same the same pressure as Boone and everybody else too. Mm-hmm. So, and I know you're breaking our balls, Sean. That's all right. Your thoughts on the outfield situation? We have Martian on the bench. Trent doesn't make roster. Yeah, I'm. See, now I originally thought all 3 were going to make the postseason roster for additional depth in the outfield, but now that Nestor Cortes has gone down, I think one of them won't make it, and then another pitcher is going to make it. So, because if Nestor goes down, he misses the postseason roster, and that changes the calculus. Mm-hmm. So, and then I would imagine Cody Poteet or somebody like that would be up here, and my guess is it's going to be Verdugo and Dominguez. But I don't know. I really don't know. It's going to go right down to the wire. I think this, right down to the last day, most likely, depending on whatever their final situation is. And then I think they're still waiting on Jay Cousins to come back.
He'll be
So
back for the division series.
I heard that, yeah. So that's a hopeful sign. But I hope they use Clayton Beater in the meantime.
I really want to see Clayton Beater, man. I
Yeah.
mean, he's got some good stuff. I think he's more of a bullpen guy, and a Cashman move, a steal for the Yankees. They traded away Joey Gallo, which was like, how did you manage to pull that off there, dude? But good job, man.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think that goes without saying. We're going to keep Dominguez on the roster. I don't see a scenario where Dominguez doesn't make the postseason roster now.
He's going to make the postseason roster, but I think Verdugo is going to start over him. And I know a lot of fans don't want to hear that. I know fans have been bashing Verdugo, especially after last night. I mean, I get it that him hitting into that double play was a little frustrating, but the bats for the most part were not alive. I mean, that wasn't just a Verdugo thing. That was, the bats just didn't come through at all. I mean, there was a few bright spots. That's, it's great to see, but it's, I told you that over the text there, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
But the bats were just not alive. It wasn't. I mean, Verdugo, yeah, he hit into that double play, which is absolutely frustrating. But
yep,
it's not like any of the bats did anything.
Yeah. Our bats,
really.
with the exception of Judge's 56th home run. What else did we do?
Yeah,
so, we haven't really done much. And Dominguez, I'll say this: Dominguez secured an apartment last night. So in Queens, New York. So in Long Island City. And so I think he's going to be here to stay now.
Mm-hmm.
So Jason Dominguez. And so that, I got to get my phone, my laptop charger here.
Oh, no, you're good.
Confidence, man, as to Dominguez. And I think we can all assume that Dominguez is going to be in the plans anyway. Hold on 1 second. Let me just charge.
You're good. Do your thing. But, listen, while Jason's getting his charger, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Dominguez, like he said, Dominguez got an apartment in Queens. And, yeah, I know, Queens, ew. Yeah. I see a comment down here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, I mean, he's going to be in Long Island City, right by the water. So,
yeah.
And I don't tell the team is not cooked.
I wouldn't say they're cooked, but Verdugo and Jason thing is tough to call. I mean, Jason's the future. Listen, Jason is going to be the future. He'll be the starting left fielder or center fielder next year. There's no doubt. I mean, Verdugo, he does have playoff experience. He's been there before, so I could see him starting over Dominguez. But Dominguez is definitely going to get playing time. He's making the playoff roster, so I mean that's all there is to it.
Yes, he is. So, again, like I do think it's going to be him and Verdugo. After that, I don't know, and I don't think DJ makes the postseason roster. No. I think Rizzo does, but I don't think Rizzo is here next year with the team.
I don't think so either. But then that begs the question: who the heck takes over first base next season?
Honestly, I think they're going to give Ben Rice a shot because he's lighting it up in AAA again. So,
yeah.
But with that said, I'm okay with the fact that they're going to move on from Rizzo because they have Oswaldo Cabrera, they have John Birdie, they have other guys that could make it easier for Ben Rice to, learn and get his lumps and and all that stuff and learn the game just like Anthony Volpe did. He got a full year of development. Ben Rice needs that same, right? So, and you'll have some backup. And again, that money they would save has got to go towards Juan Soto. So, do whatever you can to bring in Juan Soto.
Yeah, and Ben Rice, listen, I know he's been tearing the ball off at the minor leagues, right? I mean, but anytime you make it to the major league level, it's a different story. It really is. And Ben Rice, when he first came up, like he was tearing the ball off, but then after a while though, he started slumping, unfortunately. But I'm not going to crap on him for it. he needs a lot of, he needs more time than that. It's the same thing with Dominguez. I'm not gonna make any sort of criticism on Dominguez just yet. I want to give if Dominguez is going to be the future, I want to give this guy 2 full seasons, just like giving Anthony Volpe. I want to give him a couple of seasons at the major league level and see what Dominguez is all about. I think he's got some potential. I think he will do well. You just got to give him time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. You gave Volpe time. You got to give Dominguez time.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think they'll go young in a couple positions next year,
and
cheaper, and I think they'll decide. Okay, is Luke Weaver going to be our guy at closer? If not, then do we go after Tanner Scott?
I could see them going after Tanner Scott, if I'm being honest.
I could see that too, and that would be a heck of a back ending duo. And then you got some prospects like Eric Raiselman and some of these other guys that can come up through the farm and be added to the bullpen. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, real quick, I was just checking Jack Curry's tweet over here. I don't know if you saw it, but it says, with the uncertainty about Nestor Cortes' status, I'm hearing that Cody Poteet is expected to be in the Bronx today.
There it is. You called it in advance.
Yeah.
And if he's got the powers up here, baby, see? That's right. But this is
the brain juices are working this morning.
Yeah, it's working. But this is why we talk about these people so much. This is why we do our homework, because we have it helps us gain some perspective of who would be up here, who should be up here. Like Cody Poteet, we both agree should be up here. So if Cortes goes down, so in his versatility is valuable. He can
because prior to his injury, Poteet was good, man. Yeah. Poteet was actually pitched quite well.
You betcha.
So there's no doubt that this guy, when he went down, I'm like, oh boy, here we go, another piece, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this stinks, and because he pitched well in some of the games that the Yankees started him, that Guardians game, the Giants game, even in that Dodgers game, he was holding his own against Yamamoto.
Mm-hmm.
So, he was doing well, but I think Poteet will be, I think he'll be a valuable piece. If that's what Jack Curry's hearing, and this is straight from him. So I'm grabbing this, he's the source. So I'm not the one breaking news here, folks. I'm not making it up. This is straight from his tweet. So if he's hearing that's who they're bringing in, then it's probably going to be Cody Poteet, unless they change their minds.
Gate 2, Efros is not on the 26 right now. They optioned him out to AAA, so he's on standby. I would guess we'll see him at some point too, Scott Efros. Yeah. So Leiter's pitched better recently. I don't know what I don't think they're going to leave Holmes, Leiter, and Meza off, Reggie. I don't think they'll leave all three off.
Yeah, with Leiter, it's just he got overused in Chicago. The thing is, when he was with the Cubs, they used him a lot, so he is a little burned out. I think he could be a good reliever. We just got to see what he's like. Hopefully next season, we could see the real Mark Leiter Jr. Well, bullpen arms. We kind of seen it this season, right? Earlier, like, give an example. Dennis Santana. That guy was actually pitching well at one, in the beginning of the season. Then all of a sudden, kind of fell off.
Yep.
For whatever reason, Caleb Ferguson. He was all right. Then he fell off. It's just, it happens. It stinks. But this isn't. Usually the Yankees do well with bullpen arms, and they still do. I mean, look at their bullpen right now. Their bullpen is actually has been a lot better since they made some adjustments.
Yes, they have. And again, I do hope with this injury they can still clinch the division tonight. That would be a good testament that how good they are, and it'd be just kind of an inspiring piece too.
Mm-hmm.
If we just win it for Nestor, man, bro, and then they can just celebrate and sit back and relax, and then see if we get the 1 seed. The division puts them in a better playoff bracket either way. So yeah, they did release Victor Gonzalez. Like I said too, like the Nestor Cortes thing to me is potentially a big blow because I had him being one of the lefties in the bullpen. So, and if we lose them all together, then we're going to have to go probably Tim Mesa and Tim Hill. So
Yeah, and Hill's actually been pretty good.
he has.
You know.
He has. So, and yeah, the Orioles celebrated last night. They clinched the postseason.
And it's not like this series against Baltimore was going to be a cakewalk.
No.
I expect Baltimore to come in and play the Yankees hard as they always do, especially last night, man. They're trying to clinch.
Yep.
They're trying to clinch a playoff berth. And they did, good for them. But the Yankees, they got to, I'll say it, they got to win tonight. It's one game. Let's get that game and win that division, and hopefully, y'all they could have the best record in the American League.
Yep.
So,
yeah, just get this done. Let's get it in the wraps, and then really solidify the roster for the postseason. Because remember, it's going back down to 26 from 28 after the season's over. So they have to make two tough decisions, one way or the other. So, what decisions we don't know yet. So, and again, this is what happens too. Like, Nestor Cortes might not be on now. Like, we just don't know. It's going to go right down to the last day.
Yeah, and luckily the Yankees have pitching.
Yes.
Luckily they have a lot of pitching. So, that because the pitching is going to be what's going to be the most important.
Yep.
On in the postseason, because without good pitching, you're not gonna get very far.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're hearing some other stuff. Yordan Alvarez is banged up. Astros, they clinched last night too. The Astros clinched last night. The Padres clinched last night. And the Orioles clinched last night. So now we just need the Yankees to clinch.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, if he doesn't make the playoff, if there's some inflammation or something, they got to shut him down. You won't make the playoff roster. So, and then you're going to have to rely on Marcus Stroman and Cody Poteet, like guys like that. I'm just going to have to. So, we don't know right now. It's an uneasy feeling, but I am confident in the Yankees' depth that they can withstand it, overcome it, I should say. But we'll see. We will see what happens here.
Yeah.
This is
so
not news that we want to break this morning, but
it sucks, man. But I know. So Cortes has tossed just a little over 174 innings this season. Is that the most he's pitched in his career?
Close to it.
Close to it. Okay.
So I did a video about this like 2 years ago because I did a video on generally the rule of thumb is to only go up about 40 or 50 innings per season to keep the arm healthy. And he had like a 90 inning increase when he came to the Yankees in a year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pulling it up now. I'm pulling up Nestor Cortes. And right after that season, he got hurt. He had shoulder problems and so on and so forth. I remember that. I was following that pretty closely. He went from where's the innings pitched here? Innings pitched. Here we go. He went from 93 innings pitched in 2021 to 160.
Ooh.
So
that's a jump.
It almost doubled.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, he went down to 63. He was hurt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he went from 63 back up to 174. This is this year. So 2023 he was at 63. Now he's back up to 174. So these jumps, this is why I keep saying long relief is so important. Because they serve as a security blanket, so these guys don't have to do this, right? It's the difference between having to throw 8 pitchers in the game and 3 pitchers in the game. So, and like this, I'm a full proponent of Cody Poteet and Luke Weaver and some of these guys, and starters going into the bullpen for the postseason because you have guys that are already prepared as starters. Give as much length as possible. So if something like this happens, or if Rodon goes out and throws a dud, and he gives up 9 runs in 2 innings, you can bring Marcus Stroman in for 5-6 innings, and then you only need one more pitcher at the end of the game instead of like 7 guys. So, this is where like it's in my opinion, long relief is so important. But yeah, I mean, Cortes went way to hell up, and then he got hurt, went way down, and then he went way to hell back up again. So that's one of the problems, I think, for pitchers when they're not used to, like Cole's like a workhorse every year, right? He just throws almost upwards of 200 innings every year. He's built that way. So he's a brick shithouse. He's a big dude. Nestor Cortes is not. So he's built differently, right? Mike Kowinski, what's happening, man? Good morning. Yeah, they recalled Clayton Beeter. Yep, they did. Well, they recalled Clayton Beeter the other day, right, John?
Yeah, he's been. Yeah, what's up, Mike? How's it going? Yeah, Beeter was already. He got called up once Jake Cousins went on the IL.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was already a thing.
I think it's Poteet. It sounds like Poteet, according to Jack Curry, is going to be the guy that comes up.
Yeah.
So, and they're fresh arms. Poteet, Beeter, for the most part. So, and like I said this the other day with Beeter, he's a late inning guy. So batters are probably only going to see him once. So if he's pitching well, like he was doing at AAA, it's going to make it hard for batters to adjust to him because you're not going to see him a second time. So that's a net advantage for the Yankees, in my opinion. Right, so we'll see. Yeah, I would agree, Reggie. The Yankees need to get a top flight starter. I had originally thought that they were going to trade Cortes after this offseason. Now, if he needs Tommy John, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
So, no. But I don't know. We don't know. So,
yeah, he's probably. I mean, with Cortes going down, and if usually if it's elbow, I mean, it yells Tommy John surgery. It does usually.
Yeah, forearm and elbow generally.
Yeah. So I think the Yankees. I think they'll go after a starter in the offseason. I don't think it'll be like a Corbin Burns. I think that he's going to command a lot of money, which, I mean, it's his right to do so. So who do they go after? I don't know. That's the thing. There's I mean,
a lot of guys.
Are there a lot of starting pitching free agents this offseason?
Well, you'll have Jack Flaherty's going to be a free agent.
Okay.
You have Max Fried from the Braves.
Okay.
Actually, let me pull this up right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2025. Those are like the top ones. Agents by position. Here we go. I'm going to go with the top 25 free agents. Let's see how many starting pitchers are in the top 25. Let's see. You got Corbin Burns is one, obviously. Blake Snell probably is knocked out.
Yeah.
Max Fried, he's number 5. That's Jack Flaherty as well. So you got 3 of them in the top 10 starting pitchers. Now let me pull up here and then you have obviously the trade market. Will they try to trade for a Tarek Skubal? I'm guessing they're going to look into it.
If they trade for Skubal, I mean, assuming that the Tigers want to trade Skubal, because I don't know if they want to. I don't know if they want to trade him.
We don't know, right? And that's why would they? And especially now that the Tigers are like budding contenders now.
Yeah.
Why would they move him?
Trade that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and budding contenders after having traded away Flaherty. So he threw a gem last night, Skubal. A gem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is, to me, is going to be the Cy Young Award winner for the American League this year.
I could see the Yankees going after Fried or potentially Jack Flaherty.
I could too.
They weren't. I mean, I know the Yankees were looking into trading for Jack Flaherty at the deadline. I guess it was apparently it was medical reports that stopped him.
Yep.
I know he's doing well right now with the Dodgers, but at the same time, I wonder what the asking price was, like the players that the Tigers were also asking for too, because I'm not,
Yeah.
I know a lot of folks were upset that, for example, like the Yankees didn't get Tanner Scott during the trade deadline, but are you willing to give up some of your top prospects
Yep.
for a 2-month rental?
Yeah. It's crazy.
No, I'm
I got
sorry.
the list of starting pitchers here. So you got, obviously,
Yeah.
if Garrett Cole opts out, Blake Snell, Justin Verlander has a mutual vesting option, Max
Mhm.
Scherzer, Corbin Burns, Clayton Kershaw, he's got a player option, Max Fried, Shane Bieber, but he's coming off Tommy John.
Yeah.
Jordan Montgomery's got a vesting option. I don't see how he doesn't exercise it. He's been dreadful this year.
Hmm.
Walker Bueller, Nathan Eovaldi has a vesting option. Alex Cobb, Kyle Hendricks, Charlie Morton, Sean Manaea has an opt-out. Michael Lorenzen, James Paxton, he's retiring. Yusei Kikuchi.
Okay.
Sean Means from the Orioles. Spencer Turnbull. Alex Wood. So that's pretty much the list of anybody of relevance. Nick Pivetta.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, gang, anybody that was traded at the deadline is not eligible for a qualifying offer. You can't get one if you're traded at the deadline. So the Yankees would only have to, like, if they went after Jack Flaherty, no QO. They went after Tanner Scott, no QO. They don't have to give up any draft picks for these guys. So it's only cash.
Nice.
Some of these other guys, different story. But Corbin Burns is definitely going to get a QO. And
He's going to.
Yeah, there's no way he's not going to get a QO. Max Fried is most likely going to get a QO. So this is where the calculus might change for the Yankees. They may go to trade route, or they may say, you know what, I'm going to ride with Chase Hampton and Will Warren. We don't know. But they're not. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big list, Reggie, in terms of the stars. And Charlie Morton's like 40 also. So
they're not going to go after him or Verlander for that matter. If Verlander was to, but
it's crazy.
But yeah, Jason, you know how much I love spending time here, but I do have to get going, bro.
I got to wrap it up in a minute too, because I got to get on a conference call. For my solar company. So
I understand. So
I'm going, doing a live IG Instagram with one of my partners in the solar company.
Beautiful.
I'm going to talk about it on the IG, and we're going to do that at 11:30. So in 10 minutes.
Beautiful.
Always love having you on. I'll keep you updated on anything else, brother, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, Jason, as always, thanks for having me on, man. I love, you know how much I love talking to you. Love talking to everybody in the chat. But folks, I'll see you all later, Jason. We'll talk. You all have a great day. Thank you again.
Bye, bye. Later, man. Yeah, they got to show up tonight. Yeah, Talbot. Yeah, Nestor's hurt. That's why we're live here now. He's having an MRI today, according to Jack Curry, on his left elbow. So, Reggie, I'll be off for another minute or two, or another 3 minutes, and then I got to wrap up. But yeah, we need the Yankees to show up tonight. And we need the Yankees to win. If they can win, that'll be an inspiration, right? I'd really be lifted up by that. So, and that'll be a feel good moment too. Yeah, they had I mean, well, if they win the East, they win the division. So, the division is the East. If they win tonight, they win the division. So, magic number 1. Magic number 3 is for home field advantage for the whole postseason and a bye. So, yeah, I mean, Nestor was nasty, but he's had some injuries due to increasing volume in his innings. He's never been a 200 inning guy. So, which is why, like people keep talking about Roki Sasaki from Japan. He's only pitched more than 100 innings once in his career. Once. So, and there's so much hype surrounding him that, I mean, look at Yamamoto. He came here. He was injured for almost 4 months in the IL. So, we just don't know. Nothing's guaranteed, unfortunately. I think there will be moves later, Jonathan. There will be some more moves before the game. It sounds like Cody Potteet's probably going to be up here, according to Jack Curry. We expect to see him in the Bronx today. So I'm not wouldn't be surprised with that. But I would be using some of these fresh arms. Corey, have a great day, man. Same. But I will keep you updated, gang. So again, anybody in here that's not subbed to this channel, please make sure you sub. Please hit the like buttons on the way out too. I always want to get them likes out. I always greatly appreciate it. Hopefully it's just inflammation. Tyler, you and me both, brother. I hope so. But if they have to shut him down, they have to shut him down. Thankfully, they have Marcus Stroman here, an extra healthy starter. So like that's key. We're not like going from 5 to 4. We're going from 6 to 5. So that's a little bit of a different calculus, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Reggie. I mean, rotated starts. Yeah, I mean, this is like I would have been preserving some of their innings too, because I mean, Marcus Stroman's not a 200 inning guy either. So yeah, Dan Cashman did well with backup pitching. I mean, he could call JT Brubaker right now, but not for the postseason. Just for the game and whatnot, but he can't. He's not eligible for the postseason roster because he wasn't on 40-man earlier. So, but call him up for a game if he's healthy. So he did well a lot of back. Yeah, I mean, Cody Poteet, Luke Weaver, those are all under the radar moves from Brian Cashman. All a lot of them. But it is what it is, gang. So sorry to break this news to you. But it's important that we know he was supposed to pitch tonight, Nestor Cortes. So this can change it for the Yankees. So, but have a great day, everybody. Yeah, about 150. Exactly, Reggie. Have a great day. Stay tuned. I'll keep you updated on everything else. Peace and love to all of you. And I'll talk to you next time.